Morning guys, Alan here from salonpunk.com. I thought I would just spend a minute and share a couple of salon stories with you, just for a change. When I opened my very first salon, well actually my second salon, but my big salon, it had 2,000 square foot. In 1991, we'd moved from 250 square foot to 2,000 square foot, so it was a huge place. We overinvested, we spent far too much money, the builders were 6 weeks behind, the whole thing was starting to feel like a bit of a disaster, and it just seemed to be taking ever to get finished. So eventually they finished everything, and then we had a few problems. We had a cracked sink, because we had, it was either 4 or 5 big backwashes, cracked sink and a few other major problems that just urgently needed to be fixed. So up comes the open day. We have 6 stylists. I think there was 3 or 4 juniors. We didn't have a receptionist then. Of course there was myself, and I'm thinking, oh my god, here we go. The salon is going to be packed, busy. We're going to have so many clients, I'm going to make a fortune. I'm going to be able to spend my money on something, whatever it is. So here's exactly what happened on that first day. The first day we opened the salon, we had no clients booked in. This was 1991 in May. Not one single client was booked into the appointment book. I had 6 stylists. I didn't really understand fully about training people and talking to people. And I just thought, oh my god, what's going to happen here? So the 6 stylists all sat in the back room, and the juniors went there with them, and I stood at the front desk sweating my brains out, wondering how everybody's going to get paid and how we're going to get busy. But that wasn't the drama of the day, this was the drama. So one of the stylists came up to me and said, Alan, you need to look at this. There's a drip coming from the ceiling above the backwashes. Now, the ceiling was brand new, the walls were brand new, the floor was brand new, and we'd run out of money as well for the proper tile floor, so we just put vinyl down, a big piece of vinyl. Expensive vinyl, but it wasn't what I really wanted, to be honest. So the vinyl was down, everything was down, it was all there, it looked cool. And I thought, oh god, okay, so I went upstairs to see what I could see was going on with this drip. Now, I had to take up some floorboards to find out what was going on beneath the floorboards. And when I lifted a floorboard, I saw that the whole of the ceiling had about that much water just lying there for quite a huge space. So I went downstairs and I said, oh, it looks like there's a leak somewhere, probably been leaking all night. And I decided to phone the guy who had put everything in. He couldn't come, so he said, phone the plumber. I phoned the plumber. He couldn't come till the end of the day. So I didn't know what to do, we just left it. We went upstairs, we turned off the boiler, but we left the water running just in case we had a client coming in. About 3 or 4 hours into the morning, from the morning, the drip on the ceiling turned into a trickle. The trickle became a crack, and just before lunchtime the whole ceiling collapsed. So suddenly we had a brand new salon with a collapsed ceiling, a big hole in the ceiling that was completely, totally flooded out. And the bizarre thing was, I had a client come in, it was a guy. A client came in, we didn't know him, he said, can anyone cut my hair now? And he said, yeah, I can, you said, yeah, come in, we'll do your hair now. So came in, me being the fool, cut his hair instead of giving it to one of the stylists. I said, we can't wash your hair, we have no water, and obviously as you can see the ceiling's just collapsed. Thankfully he knew a plumber, he phoned his pal came round, put a stop to everything. We had to close half the salon for the first week and then start again the second week. So the reason I wanted to share that with you is not everything in a salon goes right all the time. Just because you've invested cash, I put money on my mortgage at the time, just because you've invested money on the salon, money into the property, money into the decoration and all that stuff, not everything runs smooth. Sometimes there's a disaster that can take place, but are you ready for the disaster? And it's interesting, you know, despite the bad start, despite the fact that we had no clients initially, despite the fact that everybody was just sat there, and despite the fact that after about a month it was still very slow and staff started to leave and I had to fire staff, that salon became a huge success at the end of the 17 years. and I'll share why it became so successful on the next video. But just remember, if there's a drip coming from the ceiling in the salon, get it checked out fast. Alan here, salonpunk.com. Thank you.